Well, we last saw Kell Brook sizzling last summer when he dispatched the prizefighter champion Michael Lomax. That win gave him the Lonsdale belt forever. Now he advances and enters the realms of good international class against the decent operator from Poland, Krzysziof Bienias, former two-time European challenger. It's a right hand from Brook early on, who has huge amounts of power. He's stopped 9 of his last 10, Brook.
Yes, we're all wondering just how good Kell Brook can be. At times he's looked really sizzling, on great form. Hasn't boxed an awful lot though, but he's still just 23 years of age, and so far has looked a talent.
Yeah, plagued by spells of inactivity, and out of the ring since July. A viral infection put off a proposed match with Michael Jennings, which would have been interesting, but settled quickly. Brook behind the orthodox jab. Nervous feel around the Polish camp this week in Liverpool, but he has won his last 17. Bienias, can he handle the power of the Sheffield fighter? That's a big question.
Well, he is fighting pretty nervously here, isn't he? A high guard, and he's not throwing much back at all. Just allowing Brook, who's pretty confident anyhow, just to get loose and let the punches flow.
Good use of the jab, really is. Last 4 opponents, I think, of Brook have been southpaws, and he's demolished those. Told me this week he's in terrific shape. He feels he's hitting harder than ever, and that this is the big year for the breakthrough. Oh, lovely shot there.
Bienias just really concentrating on defense. Maybe he's feeling he needs to get into this fight a little bit, not get hit, but he needs to throw something back.
Trying to drill through that high guard, isn't he, Brook? Standing off, taking his time, not rushing, but very little from Bienias, hardly thrown a punch.
Well, he's always impressed me with his patience, Brook. Never one just to rush in, softens a man up, looks for his openings, and an excellent start from Kell Brook.
Second round, important welterweight contest, the 21st fight of Kell Brook's career. First of 2010 for Brook. Unbeaten, and maybe a star of the future. Won the British Boxers Young Boxer of the Year award last year. Beginning to get his combinations together on this Krzysziof Bienias, who's been negative and trying to block punches in a crab-like shell. Here comes Brook.
Well, I can't believe Bienias' tactics just to cover up. That's just allowing Brook to do anything he pleases, let the shots go, because there's nothing coming back.
Junior Witter stopped Bienias in 2 rounds in a European title defense. Witter, a stablemate of Brook's, who's ringside tonight with the advice, I'm sure, in the build-up, and the right hand just blasting through that left of Bienias. He doesn't really know how to deal with Brook. It's so one-sided already.
Well, he really just looks very nervous, doesn't he? He's scared to throw a punch even. Tries a jab at Bienias. That's not enough, though.
Throws out a jab. About time, Bienias. But the force back from Kell Brook. This is the round that he took out Stuart Elwell. 13 knockouts on the slate. It's the most experienced man he's fought as a pro.
Bienias has won his last 17 fights. He's had 2 European title attempts, lost them both. But you know, he's a decent fighter. Got a win over Yuri Romanov, who's a decent fighter.
Good body shot from Brook. First time he's employed that. A tad livelier from Bienias, who has won 39 of 42. So he can handle himself on the European circuit pretty well. But are we looking at a special young fighter in Kell Brook?
Well, he's looking special in this contest so far because his opponent's thrown nothing back at him. And I'd like to see him just tested a bit more than he's been.
Whipping over the right hand, Kell Brook, whose idol was Prince Nassim Hamad. I spoke to a couple of weeks ago, and he's a big fan of Brook's, believes he will become a world champion one day. The 75th round of Kell Brook's career, which started back in September 2004. It's only really come to the forefront in the last 12 months or so. Turns southpaw, and a straightaway gets a left hand down the pike through the middle. That's confused Bienias. Clever thinking from the switch hitter.
Well, he's in a lot more trouble now, Bienias. Punches coming at him from all angles. The defense is starting to fall apart.
Oh, these heavy-looking shots. He's all over the place. Bienias, he's looking to cover up. But he's in big trouble, and it's early in the round this time. That uppercut. How did he take that? Shows a chin at least. But it is total domination from Kell Brook.
Well, you wouldn't think he was in with an experienced fighter with a long winning run, would you? He's making Bienias look like a novice in there.
This is a seasoned operator of many years, Bienias. But this switch to southpaw, I think, has utterly befuddled the Polish man. Legs are wobbly now. Comes back bravely with the right hand. Bienias, nothing wrong with his guts, his heart, but surely it's a matter of time for Brook.
Well, Bienias really just has to go for it now and just start throwing some shots back at him, because defensively Brook is breaking through, starting to hurt him, rock the head a little bit back. He's not going to take a great deal more.
Combination there, rattles through. He got 16 stoppages himself. Bienias may not have the power to hold Brook off. But at least he's responded in this one.
Tentative jab from Bienias, but it's better than he's been doing.
Just calls off the attack. Brook back behind that solid looking jab. The right hand again. Just a bit low with that. Bienias is dug in. He showed plenty of grit during this third round to still be in the contest.
Yes, he's gritty, but not enough coming back to give Brook any problem whatsoever.
Bienias on a long winning run. Last defeat to Junior Witter back in November 2004, so he'll want to keep that going if he can stay with Brook. The younger man, the one on the way up, and the heavier puncher. It's more of a mature look about Brook. He's not rushing things quite as much as he did in his youth.
No, recent fights he's been patient. Even so, he still gets the stoppage pretty early, doesn't he? Nice loose style Brook's got.
He won the Lonsdale belt outright, Kell Brook, with less than 16 rounds of action. He might want a few more here. That's a possibility. No point blasting everybody out. Won't be able to do that when he's in the echelons of world class. It's a very competitive welterweight division. Led, of course, by Floyd Mayweather and Manny Pacquiao, who's in action this weekend.
Well, in a fight like this, he can afford to buy this time because, you know, so far, Bienias doesn't look dangerous, very little coming back, so he can do as he pleases, Brook.
Absolutely, plenty of sparring of late, even trained through Christmas and on New Year's Day, Kell Brook. But it's ring action, all important, and he hasn't had any since July of 2009. That might come into the thinking, mightn't it, from the Ingle team?
Well, they can afford just to take their time, just be nice and loose, wait for the openings to come. Sooner or later, Bienias is going to have to come out of this crab-like defense and throw some punches and just leave his defenses open. And Brook will be waiting for the opportunity.
Good left hand from Bienias. He's got through with a few of those. But there's the powerful right back from Kell Brook. And when you possess a weapon like that, Glenn, it's so important. You know you've got the power to shake your man pretty much at any time.
Yeah, well, it looks like he's going to move to a much higher level, Brook.
Beautiful uppercut, and again from Kell Brook. Couple of jabs for good measure. Just unhinging Bienias again, who's on the back foot. And disorganized.
Bienias trying to hold everything together, keep his defenses up, but bit by bit, Brook just taking them apart.
Bell about to go for the end of the fourth round. He's left it late in this session. But a reminder to Bienias, as he waited just under 7 rounds to win the British welterweight title back in June 2008. Kell Brook against Barry Jones. And into the 5th against Krzysziof Bienias from Warsaw in Poland. Brook with special Kell on the white trunks. Got the character, the personality, a bit of dazzle about him. Promoter Frank Warren certainly believes he's a star of the future. May just be. Is there any way that Bienias can somehow get through these rounds and take Brook, you know, down the stretch in a 12-rounder?
Not what we've seen so far. It just doesn't look that he's got the punches to do that. He seems very much in survival mode. And, you know, he needs to start throwing a few more punches back if he's going to have any attempt at getting anything out of this contest.
It's that upright European style that's made for the Brook uppercut. Could have a couple of good wins in Italy over Sven Paris, the local hope. Bienias, but not in the league of the likes of Junior Witter and Octay Urkel, who've beaten him. It's a better shot from Bienias, needs confidence from somewhere.
Yes, you know, he's really, his attitude, he's coming here very nervous, very, very negative, and I think that's taken away from him. He needed to have a bit of confidence and take the fight to Brook a little bit.
Well, if he's been watching the videos of the last, 12, 18 months, you're not surprised he's nervous. There's the southpaw switch again from Kell Brook, an immediate success.
But he's on a big winning run, Bienias. You'd think he'd come in with more confidence than he's showing here.
Uppercut from the left hand this time of Brook. Just a bit open occasionally. That style based on reflexes. On Sheffield's Winkerbank Hill. Has been flawed once in his career, Brook. But at a time when he was having problems outside of the ring, he said that's all behind him. Totally dedicated, and needs to be. All about patience, they're saying, in the blue corner. And a right hand from Bienias. Best punch of the fight from him. Just a little reminder to Brook to keep his mind. Used to pretend he was Bruce Lee and Jackie Chan, Kell Brook. He's a real character. Turns 24 in May. It's a really big year. He's ranked around number 6 by the WBO. But Bienias is ranked 4 by the WBO, so this is an eliminator. World champion Manny Pacquiao, who defends against Joshua Clottey in Dallas. Kell Brook knows he's a long way off from that. But if he keeps on the right lines, world title chances might be coming sooner rather than later. Good uppercut again from Brook.
Well, I think we're getting to a point in the fight now where Brook's got to finish being patient. He's got to start showing a little bit of determination and start looking for the finish. It's been very one-sided, and I think now he's got to, you know, find a good show closer.
Step up a gear now, and I think he might be responding to your words, Glenn. Get the feeling it's become a bit more intent, but a right hand from Bienias, and again the defense was open there, the head still of Brook.
Well, I think when it's been that one-sided, you know, there's reason for Brook to maybe get a little bit casual with his defense. Obviously that's a danger, but you know, so far he's had nothing whatsoever to worry about.
Ingles always teach the art of defense, not being hit. Did have a spell with Dave Colwell, also formerly an Ingle fighter, but returned to Brendan and his boys. Can't wait to top a bill in Sheffield. That's what he really wants to do, Kell Brook.
It's a much quieter round for Brook, just when I thought he might be looking now to step it up, get Bienias out of there. He's just gone a little bit flat.
Well, it looked like it, Glenn, but he got caught, and I think that just made him pull off the attack. But that's a lovely uppercut with the right hand, and he did shake Bienias there. Just over 20 seconds left in the 6th, and now is it the moment. The predatory instincts of Kell Brook might take over. A lovely uppercut, and the referee, Victor Loughlin, correctly goes in. Good stoppage, and Kell Brook does get the job done. A patient performance this time, a one-sided performance, but another knockout. That's 10 of his last 11, and on paper, his best win yet.
Yep, certainly was. Very, very even.